we can go ahead and get started. So let's take a comfortable seat, roll the shoulders up and away from the ears. Keeping the chest lifted, we'll drop the nose a little bit toward the floor. Eyes can be closed or soft. And just connecting with your breathing. Just noticing how the breath is moving in the body. And encouraging the breath to lengthen out, starting to draw the breath down into the belly region. And noticing what arises if you were to ask yourself, how am I this evening? So what comes up? What answers to that? I've been getting a sense for where you'd like to be by the end of your practice. What would that new state feel like? Where would it be in the body? What energies do we need to manifest to get there? Try to not overthink it with the brain, but instead to sense and feel, what is it that I'm needing out of my practice today? Take a couple more nice, deep, long inhales and long exhales. Really feeling the breath in the body. And on your next inhale, we'll slowly open the eyes and come back into your space. All right, let's start with the neck roll. So keeping the shoulders back and down, we'll drop the head down toward the floor and then draw a circle with the tip of your nose, the biggest circle that you can draw. You can go any speed here, just feeling into the neck. Big circle with the nose. So you might even be able to look up towards the ceiling or down toward the floor as you're rolling through your circle. And we'll pause in that direction and circle the other way. So tip of the nose, really big circle. And the next time that your nose is in that starting position, looking toward the floor, we'll pause there. And then you can lift the head. All right, let's take the hands to the shoulders. Let's draw circles with the elbows. Nice big circles, keeping the breath flowing. Again, you can start off at any speed here, just kind of feeling out the shoulders. And let's take it up a notch. So going a little bit faster, big circles with the elbows. I'm going to pause that direction, circle the other way now, going at that faster pace. And then a slower pace here, same direction. And then we'll let the hands rest and the shoulders rest. Let's take the left hand down on the floor, the right hand up and over for a side bend. So you might bend that elbow that's down on the floor, dropping a little lower, reaching to the fingers. And inhale, we'll come on up and over to the other side, reaching through the left hand, bending the right elbow. Inhale, we'll come on back up to center. And let's take the hands back by the hips, draw the shoulders together and down, and lift the center of the chest up toward the ceiling. So you could tip your pelvic bone forward and maybe coming into a little back bend, might drop the head back, or you could just keep looking straight ahead. And on inhale, we'll come on back up to center. And let's take a twist over to the left and turn around the spine. And we'll inhale back through center. Exhale, other side. Yeah, no, inhale back to center. All right, let's come on to hands and knees. So the knees are hip distance apart, right underneath of your hips. Feet are hip distance apart, and the hands right underneath of the shoulders. When you're ready, cat-cow. On your inhale, tailbone up, chest up, dropping the belly toward the floor. On your exhale, abdominals in and up toward the ceiling, arching the back into cat pose. Move back and forth here. Nice easy breathing, nice full breath. And when you come into your cow pose, you can push the belly down toward the floor, really trying to accentuate that, that curvature. And then on your cat pose, you can pull the belly in, so using the abdominal muscles when you're arching the back as well. Next time that you come into cat pose with the arched back, that'll be the last one, and we'll come back to a neutral spine. All right, from here, let's take the right foot back behind. So you're gonna reach through your right heel, extending that leg long, knees straight. And without collapsing in the back, so we're not coming into a cow pose here. Instead, we're going to support the abdominals, keep a straight spine, and try to lift that foot off the floor. So you're pressing back through your heel, knee is straight, toes are toward the floor on that lifted leg, not collapsing in the back. If you want a little more, take your left hand off the mat and extend the arm by your ear. Here we're challenging balance, again, not collapsing in the back, pressing through the heel, breathing. And we'll bring the hand down and the knee down, coming back into hands and knees. And we'll come to the other side. So starting with just straightening the left leg, pressing through your heel, getting nice and long in that leg. Abdominals supporting the back. Go ahead and lift that left foot, bringing your foot in line with your hips. Trying to not bend the knee, toes toward the floor, not collapsing in the back. And then if you want more, right hand off the mat, extend the arm by your ear. And we'll bring the hand down and the knee down, coming back into hands and knees. And let's take the hands just a little bit forward, spread the fingers wide, and bring your hips forward for a half plank pose. So knees are down, shoulders are right over the hands, the hips are forward. And then press into your fingers, spreading your fingers wide. So you're pushing into your hands, trying to reduce the weight on the heel of the hand. Breathing here, supporting with the abdominals. Now bring your elbows in close and bend your elbows, coming down about 1/4 of the way toward the floor, and then push back up. It's like a 1/4 of the way down, and I'm going to push back up. So do a few rounds of that. Elbows in close, 1/4 of the way down and then push your way back up. Keep the solid core in the abdominals here. Now, if you want to go down to 1/2 of the way down, you can do that and then push back up. Elbows in, not chicken arms, so in close to the body. A couple more here. Keep those hips forward. And we'll come back up to hold in half plank pose. Now this time, elbows then are going to lower all the way down onto your belly. All the way down on the floor. Tops of the feet down, tailbone down, elbows in close to the body. Go ahead and lift the head and the chest for Cobra pose. Shoulders away from the ears, they're down toward the hips. Lifting the top of the head up, opening the neck. And exhale, we'll come back down to the floor. Push into your hands, half plank pose. So coming back up onto your knees. We're going to come into a half side plank pose. So take your right foot and take it out to the side. So you're going to swing it to the right in about a 90-degree angle. And then rotate onto your right hand, stacking your shoulders onto your right side. Right knee is on the floor. Right knee down. Yeah, bring your other foot in line with your knee. You could take your left hand up toward the ceiling. There you go. Push actively into your right hand so that you're lengthening out. Try to separate the hands, separate the shoulder blades. A couple of breaths here. And then we'll rotate back into the half plank pose. Coming back down, both knees down, hips are still forward. And then we'll come to the other side. So you'll swing your left foot out now, about 90 degrees, and then rotate. So you stack your hips, stack your shoulders, and you might lift the right hand up toward the ceiling. Actively push into the hand that's on the floor. Try to separate the shoulder blades. And then we'll roll on back to our half plank pose. And then we'll take the hips back to the heels for prayer pose. Reaching through your arms, head comes down, breathing. On inhale, we'll come back up to hands and knees. And we'll take your knees a little wide and tuck your toes under. So really try to wrap your toes underneath. I'm going to walk your hands back towards your knees and then lift them off of the floor. So we're going to come into a balancing squat. So you have your toe, yeah, there you go. And you can space your feet as much apart as you want. Your heels are working toward the floor, but may not come to the floor. What you want to do is find a place that feels kind of solid here. You're going to walk up on your fingertips, and then maybe bring your hands together at your heart and try balancing. If you still want more from here, you're going to lift up off of your knees, shoulders down the back, reach up to the top of your head. Just breathing, finding some place on the floor. You can just rest your gaze. And then from here, we'll bring the hands back down onto the mat and then walk them forward into a downward facing dog. So straighten out the legs and draw the hips back behind, downward facing dog. So the feet are hip distance apart. The outside edges of the feet are parallel and those heels are reaching toward the floor. Trying to balance your weight between all 4 points on the floor here. So really drawing the legs back to reduce the weight on the hands. Shoulders away from the ears, up towards your hips. Breathing. And we'll take a big step forward with the right foot coming into high lunge runner stretch. So trying to bring that foot up so that your knee is over your ankle. Your back heel comes down toward the floor. Keep the hips toward what's in front. When you're ready, pull into your core and come on up for warrior one. Virabhadrasana one. Tailbone toward the floor, back leg straight, arms up when you're ready. Warrior pose, nice and strong. Strong in both legs. Breathing. And then from here, come back into a downward facing dog. Place the hands, big step back. Then coming to the other side, we'll step the left foot forward, high lunge, runner stretch. So trying to get that foot up so that the knee is over the ankle, back heel down, hips are square to the front, and strong in the legs when you're ready. Warrior one on the side. And then downward facing dog. Place the hands, big step back. And we'll bring the feet to meet the hands for Uttanasana, standing forward bends, walking the hands and the feet together. Tailbone lifts up toward the ceiling, upper body softens down toward the floor. And really thinking about lengthening the spine, so lengthening from that tailbone to the head, down toward the floor as if you would put your head on the floor. So more down than in toward your legs. And then we'll take a slight bend of the knees, abdominals in. We'll come on up to standing, supporting the abdominals. Okay, we're going to work on pyramid pose. So you'll want a couple of blocks at the front of your mat. And we're going to start by taking the right foot forward, left foot back. I'll bring my camera down here. So right foot forward, left foot back, square the hips toward what's in front. Both legs straight. Will come on down here, bringing your hands to rest on your blocks. So they could be at any height here, but something that's pretty easy to have. And the hands are right under your shoulders. And then notice your weight on your feet. Notice if you're heavier in one foot than the other. You want to try to be even across the feet. So pushing into whichever one might be light. Just breathing here in pyramid pose. forward one level. So you have to kind of reach your arms a little bit forward to get them there. And now bend that right knee and shift your weight onto the right foot. And then straighten the right leg and lift your left leg up back behind. Remember we did this when we were on our knees. You're gonna press through your left heel, straighten that leg, and extend through your spine. So it's like if you were standing on your left foot. Can be nice and long here. Actively pushing into your right foot, like you're really trying to stand there, really trying to be tall on your right leg. Breathing. And then with control around the right knee, when it gets slight bend, that right knee, set the left foot back down and then come back into pyramid. So walking the blocks back and straightening both legs. Back into pyramid pose. And from here, you're going to take your left block a little bit closer to your front foot. So just taking it a little bit toward the inside, big toe side of that foot. You're going to keep your left hand on the block and take your right hand to your right hip. And try and be super long in the spine. So reach to the top of the head and then stack your shoulders, rolling that right shoulder on top of the left. Keep both legs straight. And if your shoulder comes back and stacks, you could release the hand up toward the ceiling. Revolved triangle pose. We'll unwind the twist, coming back into pyramid. And let's bend the front knee and come up to warrior one on this side. Good, and we'll go ahead and release the hands to the hips and step the feet together. Want to come to the other side. So you're going to have your left foot forward, right foot back for pyramid on this side, squaring the hips toward what is in front. Both legs are straight. Really connecting with the feet, active legs, pulling up into your core. And then keeping all that, we'll extend down and release the hands down onto your blocks. So really noticing as you transition up or down, are you holding with the abdominals or are we just flopping the spine? You really want to support the spine. Starting here in pyramid pose, just feeling both legs straight, both legs are straight. Feet are active, breath is flowing. And then we'll bring the blocks forward just a little bit. So you're kind of straightening out and lengthening the arms a little in front of you. And then we'll bend that left knee, shifting your weight onto the left foot. And then straighten the left knee, lifting your back foot off of the floor. Starting to kick back behind. Try to bring your foot in line with the rest of the body. And abdominals supporting and lengthening, like you're standing on that right foot. You're standing and extending. Actively pushing into the foot that's on the floor, trying to lift up off of that hip. And to come out with control, going to slightly bend your left knee to set the back foot down and then straighten the leg, bring the hands back into pyramid pose. Both legs straight. We're going to work our way into revolved triangle pose. So now the right block comes a little bit closer to your front big toe. The right hand stays on the block. Left hand starts on your left hip. And start to stack the shoulders, opening the chest toward the left side. Strong legs, strong feet. Breathing here. If the shoulders stack, you could take the hand up toward the ceiling. And it can help to kind of look toward the floor for balance. See if you can, try to find a place to rest your gaze. Now on inhale, we'll unwind back into pyramid. Bend that front knee to come on up for a warrior one. Release the hands. We'll step the feet together. All right, we're going to transition into lateral posture. So we're going to come into triangle pose, Trikonasana. So I'm going to start with the right foot forward. You can have a block to the outside of your right foot. So you can take that right foot in front and bring my camera back down. So a block to the outside of your front foot. Right foot forward, left foot back, toes in, heel out on your left side. Remember, triangle pose, your hips are in line with your feet. So you're really going to try to open out sideways. Yeah. So there's a slight inner spiral on your left thigh, a little bit of a turning in of that leg. And there's an outer spiral on your right leg. And the hips are countering that, or rotating in that sort of opposite direction. Strong legs, both legs straight. I'm going to take the arms out here, breathing. I'm going to reach through the right fingertips, so extending there, and then bring the hand down to your block. Right hand to the block. Stack your shoulders, opening the chest. Both legs straight, balancing the weight between the 2 feet. Just finding what's going on in the mind, what's going on in the body. You connect with the breath and try to slow it down. From here, we're going to tone the muscles around the right knee. We're going to bend that knee right over your ankle and come on up for warrior two. Virabhadrasana 2. Tailbone straight down between the feet. Chest open. I'm going to bend your right elbow, bring the forearm to your thigh. Keep that left shoulder drawing back. I'm going to take the hand all the way over your head. Come into extended side angle pose. And then drop your hips a little more toward the floor by bending that front knee a little bit more. Back leg stay straight and strong. Push into your back heel. Yeah, that's better. I'll give you an option here if you want. If your block is close by, you can slip it from the back side to the front side of that foot. Just an option. Keep those hips down, so keep the tailbone down. Yeah, strong legs. Push into your left foot. Strong into that left side. If you still want a little more, if you just want that extra challenge, then you can come down the level on your block. Try to keep that upper hand all the way over your head. Shoulder drawing back, opening the chest. Good. Now on a strong inhale, push into your feet. We're coming all the way back up to warrior two. Good. Go ahead, release the arms. You can straighten the legs. We're going to come to the other side. So you can grab a hold of that block. You can turn around. You can twist your feet. Whenever we need to come to the other side for triangle pose. So now the left foot is forward. The block is to the outside of your left foot. Toes in, heel out on the right foot. So that inner spiral is important here on your right foot. Toes in, heel out. And then the hips are an opposite rotation. So the hips come in line with the 2 feet. Both legs straight, both feet active. We'll bring the hands up here. When you're ready, reach through those left fingertips to extend and come on down to Trikonasana, triangle pose. And then lean back. Try to get your head, shoulders, everything in line with your back foot. Try to lean the whole upper body back. And then from here, toning the muscles of the left leg, let's bend that knee and come up for warrior two on this side. Just notice how you're breathing. How's the mind? Continually letting go of what's not helping right now. So letting go of tension, letting go of thoughts that are not useful. I'm going to bend the left arm and bring the forearm to the thigh, the right hand up and over the head, extended side angle pose. So when you do that, make sure you're opening the chest here, drawing the shoulder way back, and then you could bend the knee a little more to drop the hips a little lower. You could absolutely stay here if this is already a challenge, or if you want, you can take that block to the inside of the front foot and maybe drop a little lower. Just if you do that, make sure that you're strong into your back foot. You're rooting down there, still keeping the chest open and the shoulder back, and that top hand all the way over your head. And on a strong inhale, push into your feet, back up to warrior two. Couple breaths here. And release the hands. Let's step the feet together. All right, let's work on tree pose. I'm gonna do a little bit of a balancing. So you can be near a piece of furniture or a wall, something that could help. I'm gonna start standing on the right foot. So finding that right foot connecting with the floor and really rooting down into that leg. So I'm trying to find the hips, make them level with the floor. And then we'll pick up the left foot and take the knee out to the side. So that rotation is important here. Keep those hips level. If you're okay with that, we're going to pick the foot up and place it to the inside of the shin or above the knee to the inner thigh. Keep the hips level. So that outer hip on the left side, I'm going to rotate it down toward the floor. Hands can be anywhere. Hips, heart, above your head. Gaze is soft. Breath is flowing. Face is easy. Tree pose. And then we'll come on out with control on that side. Trying to let go of whatever did or did not happen on the first side. New side. Let's find that left foot. Find that rooting down into the earth. Keeping the hips as level as we can. We'll take the right knee out to the side. And then your choice. You could leave the toe down. You could bring the foot up to your inner shin or to the inner thigh. Just finding where your challenge place is without overexerting. Finding that sense of ease in your posture. And then we'll come on out with control. All right, we're going to come down onto the mat. And zooming in was helpful or not. All right, we're going to sit here with the knees bent and the feet about hip distance apart. And then you're going to take your hands back behind. Yeah, you can't really see my hands. Let's see if I can zoom out. Come on, camera. Out. Oh, man. Okay, well, all right, we'll work with this. So take the fingers back behind. So your fingertips are on the floor. I don't know if you can see that or not. And then keeping the elbows straight, we're going to roll down onto your hands. I'm going to try to bring your hands onto the floor. Fingers toward your feet. Fingers towards your feet. Now from here, you're going to draw your shoulders away, back toward what's behind, and pop the chest forward. So it's like the chest is coming through the shoulders. Good. You should already feel a little bit like there's a bit of a back bend that might happen here. Then you can walk your feet in just a little bit closer to your hips. Push down into your hands and into your feet and try to lift the hips up in line with your knees and your shoulders. Now the head can go anywhere that works for the neck. And maybe you just take a couple of breaths and have to sit the hips down. That's okay. You can always come back up again. Actively pushing into the hands, pushing into the feet. And then we'll bring the hips down. Release the hands. And let's do a seated forward bend. So extend the legs out. Come on, camera. And we're going to have the hands back by the hips, shoulders back, lengthening up to the top of the head. From here, actually, let's do this instead. Grab a hold of your blanket. Let's sit on the edge of your blanket. So just right up on the edge of it. And grab a hold of your strap. Just going to get this camera to work. There we go. Okay, better. All right, so legs are extended, hips are on the blanket. Let's wrap that strap around your feet. So try to keep your feet a little bit apart. Toes up toward the ceiling. Shoulder blades down the back. I'm going to draw the elbows in. So turn the palms up toward the ceiling as you hold your strap. So if you do that, you've got this bicep curl thing going on. That's what we want. Elbows in, shoulders back, abdominals in, and then like you're holding something on the top of your head. So really long in the spine. And maybe you can even feel your tailbone starting to come back behind. So as if you go ahead and try to exaggerate like you're coming into a back bend. Tailbone back, shoulders back. You feel the belly come forward here. Good. And then from here, now pull on the strap and start to come forward, belly and chest first. So really lengthening, tailbone behind, belly and chest first. And then I might be able to walk your hands down the strap as we come down a little closer. You might be able to reach towards your feet a little. Belly and chest. Further down you come, it's more chest. Shoulders away from the ears, back towards your hips. Lengthen the spine, reaching up to the top of the head. Pulling on the strap, bringing the nose towards your toes. Try to not round. So we're not rounding the back, we're lengthening the back. On inhale, we'll go ahead and release and come on up. You can release the strap for a second here. I'm going to keep the right leg extended, but bring your left leg and cross it over. Try to stack one knee on top of the other. So I'm going to really draw that foot in, bring your left foot close to your hip. Okay, now from here, you're going to take your strap. I'm going to wrap it over the top of that left foot so that both tails are off to the side. So over the top of the foot on that side. Yeah, and then take both tails of the strap around behind you, all the way around to the other side. So it's wrapping all the way around the back of the body. Your left hand now is going to wrap around your back and grab a hold of your strap. Yeah, so you're going to hold the strap behind your back, and then you can kind of pull on the foot and walk the hand a little closer. So the strap should be nice and tight here, and I'm holding with my left hand behind my back. You can see that. Okay, so that's helping to pull that foot in. That's keeping that knee stacked. Lengthen up through the top of the head, nice and tall. With your other hand, reach forward for your foot. If you can't quite reach the foot, grab what you can, your leg somewhere. So hopefully you can feel in the back how having your hand behind your back kind of prevents you from rounding. Right where your arm and the strap might be hitting, that might be a place where you tend to curl a lot. So by having the arm back, you're kind of forced to come forward with the chest. From here, keep your hand still holding the strap. You're going to lift back up to a tall position. Now take that free hand to the outside of your knee and push against it. We're going to come into a twist. You can pull on the strap, push against the knee, and open the chest. Inhale, unwind. You can go ahead and release that side. We'll come to the other side. So I'm going to extend the left leg, cross the other leg over, your right leg over, starting to bring the foot in close to your hip. The strap comes over the top of that foot and both tails behind you on that side. Right hand comes all the way around the back, grabbing the strap as close to the foot as you can get. So really getting a nice wrap around there. Once you're here, lengthen up through the top of the head, nice and tall, and then reach for your extended leg. So you can grab the toes there. If you can't grab toes, grab the leg. Leading with the chest, lengthen the spine. And then on inhale, we'll come on back up and into the twist. Drop the arm to the outside of the knee, push against the knee, pull on the strap, and twist. And inhale and release. And set the strap aside. We're going to work our way down onto your back, all the way on the floor. Knees bent, feet on the floor. Taking a breath into the belly. Just kind of feeling where the body is. Let's take the feet up for our happy baby pose. So reach up for your feet or your shins, separating the feet as if you were standing on the ceiling. So taking the feet apart. Yeah, knees towards your shoulders. Try and keep the hips down on the floor and the back nice and long if you can. And then we'll bring the feet back down to the mat. We'll take them about mat width or a little bit wider apart. The arms can be out to either side, just resting on the floor. You want to drop the knees from one side and then to the other, keeping the feet where they are. Just releasing the back. If you want, you could turn your head in the opposite direction as the knees go to. You can also keep it level if the neck doesn't want that. We're going to work our way back to center. I'm going to pick up both feet, draw your knees in towards your chest. Wrap your hands around your knees or your shins. Keep your head on the floor to start. So head down, just drawing your knees in. On the next exhale, then exhale completely, dropping the belly toward the floor and lift the head and the chest and squeeze, bringing your nose towards your knees. Hold the exhale out, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Inhale, bring your head back down to the floor, breathe into the belly, nice big inhale. On your exhale, abdominals toward the floor, lift the head and the chest, bring your nose to your knees and squeeze. Hold the exhale out, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Inhale and release the head back down to the floor, breathing into your belly. Last one, exhale, abdominals toward the floor, lift the head and the chest, bring your nose toward your knees, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Hold the exhale out, squeeze. And inhale and release. Release the feet down to the floor. And you can work your way now into Shavasana, corpse pose, extending the legs long, hands by your sides. Notice the quality of your breath. Notice how the breath moves in the body. And notice the quality of the mind. How is the mind doing now? And the qualities of the body. How's the body doing? Has anything shifted or changed since you first checked in at the beginning of practice? Is there anything that you would like to carry with you into the rest of your evening? What are those qualities? What does it feel like? And then allow some movement to come back into the body. And then as you're ready, you can make your way up to a seated position. Hands together at the heart. Thank you for joining and for sharing your yoga practice. I hope you have a wonderful, restful evening, and I will see you in class again. Namaste.